Hi, this is Brian. Welcome back to another Optimize Plus One. In our last Plus One, we talked about the fact that if we could figure out how to take 30 exponential steps, we'd be able to hop in a rocket and go around the Earth 24 times. Rather than get 90 feet down the street, we'd get a few billion steps further in our joyful jaunt around the Earth. That's crazy. And, well, that's the power of aggregating and compounding seemingly small changes that can have huge impacts on our lives as we watch the magic exponentially grow. I love all the metaphors we can use to think about the power of just showing up again and again and again. We've talked about the doubling penny, collecting coins, melting ice cubes, hitting the rock, figuring out combination locks, and rocking marginal games, all of which are linked in this Plus One. Obviously, the metaphors are just metaphors, but they all make the same primary point. It's all about consistency. We need to show up again and 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 again. Boom! Magic. Which is why I was so fired up to make a little distinction while I was preparing for our Mastery Series session on work in our module on Carpe Diem. Now, the basic theme of the class is how to create genius work versus mediocre work. I'll save the details on that discussion for another Plus One. As I was preparing for the class, I knew I was going to focus on the equation we've been talking about lately. Astonishing work equals time times energy times focus times what's important now, or T times E times F times WIN. Then I had a wonderful epiphany. I added a little C right at the end of the equation. So it went time times, parentheses, energy times focus times what's important now to the C power, consistency power. A choir of angels began to sing as I thought through the implications of the new optimized equation. Genius work equals time times energy times focus times what's important now to the power of consistency. I quickly made some notes. If your energy is a 100 and your focus is a 100 and you're working on a 100 level important thing, you'd get, one more time, 1 million points of awesome. That's 1,000 times more awesome than if your energy, focus, and WIN, or what's important now, was at a 10, which would be 10 times 10 times 10 equals 1,000. But get this. If we believe consistency is an exponential force multiplier, then we'd actually be better off plodding along at the lower numbers, but at least doing so consistently. Get this. Although 100 times 100 times 100 is 1 million points of awesome, we've got to know that if we get a 0 in the consistency score, then 100 times 100 times 100 to the 0 power is 0. Whereas, although 10 times 10 times 10 is only 1,000 points of awesome, we've got to know that if we get a 100 in the consistency score, then 10 times 10 times 10 to the 100th power is a huge number. It almost breaks the calculator, coming in at 1e plus 300. If my math is right here, that's a 1 followed by 300 zeros. That's a lot of zeros. Now here's the kicker. What do you think would happen if we were able to get all of our variables up to 100? Our energy is 100, our focus is 100, our WIN is 100, and our consistency is 100. What's a million to the power of 100? Can you guess? Answer, it's infinity. And that's today's Plus One. Want to have fun seeing just how limitless you can go? Get your energy optimized, get your focus optimized, get your ability to focus on what's important now optimized, and then go do it consistently, starting today. Plus 100, plus 100, plus 100 to the 100th power.